Ashbin was in an emergency meeting with Ironwood and the council. Ashbin, if this threat breaches the walls, Veil will fall. Ironwood, Ashbin, these are just mindless Grimm. Glinda, may I remind you that these Grimm have been experimented on and improved by a confirmed living Merlot. Ironwood, it could be fake, like how those UNSC are. Councilman 1, I see that Atlassian arrogance still blinds you, General. Councilman 2, we were shown the existence of this galactic force, and there could be more of them out there. Ashbin, the new Grimm still is a cause for concern, but we can't ignore that there are intergalactic threats out there. These Grimm are not ordinary. The recording shows that they possess coordination and intelligent actions. Ironwood, if we could get a sample of that tech. Jaune joins the meeting. Jaune, no. I know how your type works, Ironwood. You're the type who wants to show your kingdom's superiority. Ironwood, we just wish to improve our lives and protect the people. Jaune, and yet you still can't unite due to your bias of exploitation and racism. Ironwood, we can talk about Jacques and politics later. We need the tech. Jaune, the answer is still no. If you're still busy with your self-interest, you can't be trusted with that kind of tech. The reason we even won our war was realizing who was the real enemy and dropping our differences to beat it. Remnant has been around for 2,000 years, and you still can't beat a species of mindless animals compared to our technologically and numerically superior foe. Ironwood, Ashbin, Jaune is right, it's been 2,000 years and we can't even see eye to eye like they do. Councilman 1, yeah, the boy is right. Jaune, you do know my body is only 21 years old, but I've been alive for 51 years. Councilman 1, sorry, my mistake. But whatever you need, Veil will support you. Ashbin, is there anything Beacon can do? Jaune, the breach is what concerns me. We have detected tremors from that location. I believe a separate force of Grimm is moving underground. Have your huntsmen and huntresses along with your students on that breach and hold it just in case. Ashbin, understood, I'll send my best teams. Jaune, if Team RWBY is there, they need a professor next to them and watching their actions. Ashbin, Jaune, they have formally apologized and spent weeks reflecting on their actions. Aren't you a bit harsh on them? Jaune, if you ask me, you weren't harsh enough. I demanded that condition they've watched by a responsible staff member and keep them on a tight leash. I will not have a repeat of the 6 civilian casualties. Ashbin, as you wish, I will send Glinda to oversee them. Glinda pinches the bridge of her nose. Jaune, have the Atlassian ships back off right now. Ironwood, we're just here to keep the peace. Jaune, I will not trust soulless machines with the safety of people. I fought a crap ton of that in Requiem. They can never be trusted. Crow, while finally someone who understands. Jaune and Glinda, quiet drunk. Ironwood, the purpose of those Atlassian nights is to prevent human losses. Jaune, oh, is that towards your soldiers only or civilians? I recall the broadcast showing numerous frontier villages being abandoned once you lost some soldiers and AKs. What? Is it not worth it? Or are you partial to your own people? I'm not afraid to spend men, but I will never waste them. Innocent lives are always worth the sacrifice. Ironwood, I was thinking of the lives of my men. Jaune, and the lives of the people you left at the mercy of the grim, do they matter to you? Ironwood, Jaune thought so. Vale Council, I am requesting my ships to move near Vale's airspace. Councilman 1, granted. Please lend us your aid. Jaune, have you broadcasted the Grim Alert? Councilman 2, yes, the civilians are being evacuated to the shelters. Jaune, I will deploy Sergeant Forge and his Marines to safeguard those shelters. Ashbin, I'll send Sergeant Ghost with the Hades Corps. Along with a contingent of ODSTs under Sergeant Buck. Ashbin, as you wish, I'll advise my teams to welcome their support. Later. Somewerin Vale. Cinder, alright Emerald, keep your illusions up and we'll get to that battleship. We'll give these weaklings a battle on two fronts. Emerald, okay, Mercury, take out this who I can't fool. Cinder, make sure to hide the bodies so we won't be seen. Mercury, got it. Cinder, I'd like to see the look on the general's face when we take his army he's so proud of and use it on Vale. The three got past the Atlassian patrols and made their way into the main Atlas battleship. As they made their way to the bridge, they execute the second part of their plan. Eliminating a kingdom would make their next steps a lot more easier. Using the program that what's made they begin hacking the droids. Meanwhile, the newly formed Red Talon get ready to strike the humans under Adam Taurus' leadership. Unknown to them that one of their sisters is not who she seems. Back to Ashton's office. Jaune received a message from his new spy master. Jaune Dame. Crow, what is it, old man? Jaune, we got another problem. The faction under Taurus is making a move. Ironwood, we need to capture him. Jaune, I received word that my fellow Spartans just got back from recon. I'm sending Noble Team after them. Crow, I'll join your hit squad. I want to see how the legendary Spartans work. Jaune, just slow them down. Crow, I'll do better. I might leave them in the dust. Jaune, I'll tell them you said that. Ironwood, what should we do? Jaune, stand by and hold. You are the reserve force just in case our enemies have another plan in the shadows. Ironwood just nods dejectedly. Jaune, Send Specialist Winter to the breach, she will assist Sergeant Buck. Ironwood, understood, I'll send some soldier with her. John nods as he ends his transmission. John, I need a pickup. Fernando, this is Echo 216, on my way. Moments later, a Pelican lands for him to board. Cortana, Chief, another tremor at mine. Glenn. An image shows a giant Grim Dragon Forerunner hybrid appears with a plethora of weapons. As it flew with the horde, it began spawning more Grim. But thankfully they were just regular Grim. John, damn, we need a Mac gun on this. Cortana, we can't fire properly in atmosphere. Vadim, Spartan, I will lend aid for this battle. Then 2 corvettes arrived and seen above the Grim. John, I can't believe I'm saying this, but we need to glass some of them. Just limit the amount of ground you glass, Shipmaster. Vadim, as you wish. I will beat this horde like a drum. Esteban, this is the Michael Stanforth. Our Mac gun is ready to fire from orbit, just mark it and I'll have Roland give us a lock. John, thank you, Captain. You're free to engage. Then he made contact with a Spartan team. John, Blue team, we're gonna assist in keeping that horde outside the wall. Frederick, copy that. Kelly, we're already here. Sergeant Johnson already have the Marines set up defensive positions. John, I'm on my way. Get ready, our intel says the enemy is only a few minutes away while I'm still trying to get to you. Kelly, Linda, take command of your forces. Frederick, coordinate with Sergeant Johnson. Sam, you got the designator. Call in targets for airstrikes. Sam, got it, Chief. Momentlate. Valuos. Marine, incoming. Marines took cover while Nevermore swooped down, trying to cut them down. Once they passed them, the Marines respond with a hail of assault rifle fire. The walls were being rammed by Nanooks as it assailed it with cinder shots. A Marine was able to kill one with a well-aimed SPNKR to the head. As the horde keeps coming, multiple large shadows began looming over Vale as 5 Nevada frigates moving in to support ground forces. The Grim Dragon flew by the wall, spawning Grim in between the Marines. A few Marines got cut down by a few newly spawned Beowulfs. A Faunus Marine was almost mauled by a Beowulf, but was saved by Kelly. Fred looks down at the wall and saw wave upon wave of Grim banging on the wall trying to get in. Frederick, this is Blue Team, we are being swarmed at the walls, we need air support to thin out this horde. Miranda, understood, I'm sending a squadron of broadswords to you. Give them hell.
Frederick, Sam.
You got the lays, Tegem. Sam, roger that. As he began marking targets for bombing runs. Miranda, All frigates concentrate fire on those whales, bring them down so the shipmaster and his troops can finish them off. The frigates began bombarding the monster grim whales as a couple of them fall to the ground stunned from cannon fire. Then 3 corvettes appeared and began glassing the whales. Vadum, I'm sending some banshees and phantoms. Humans, hold your ground. Linda, can't believe I'm glad to see you guys. Then the pelican hovered above them. As someone jumps down. Kelly, Chief. We have more on the way. They just keep on coming. Linda, I saw one of those grim majors leading their packs. John, try and pick him off Linda, see if that affect them. She nods as she takes aim with her sniper rifle. John, Kelly, try and keep them away from the wall. Then an explosion came from within the city. Meanwhile, Jan, hey, do you know why we're here? Ruby, something about the breach, that's all. Weiss, I think we're more help if we're on the wall. Blake, Weiss, we're still on probation. Weiss, no, I was thinking. Why here isn't the breach have been secured? Jean, yeah, but I heard from Bro that they detected some seismic activity here. Nora, size of what now? Run, it means something is making movement on the ground. Coco, do you think that the Grim from MT Glen is tunneling beneath us? Neptune, that's nuts, they're not that smart. Glinda, children, we have been told that the Grim the UNSC is facing has been modified with alien technology. Son, that's insane. Blake, that can't be possible. Velvet, hey, do you guys hear that? Then the ground started to rumble. Moments later, the ground bursted open in a cloud of smoke. The Beacon students began taking battle positions as they were met by mechanized Grim. The students are being overwhelmed by the Grim with their superior numbers and tech, until Ghost and his company began engaging them with fierce resistance. Ghost, this is Ghost. The Grim have broken through the breach. Adisco and I are holding them back, but we need backup. Cutter, roger that, Sergeant. I'm sending a company of ODSTs and Sergeant Buck to assist you. Be advised, a squad of Atlasians with Specialist Winter will be joining you. Ghost, roger that. Ghost out. Spirit of Fire Launch Bay. Buck, alright boys and girls. We're jumping in feet first into shit. Are you ready? ODSTs, sir. Yes. Sir. Cutter, drop pods away. They crashed down in between the Beacon students and the Grim. The pods burst open as the doors flew towards the faces of the first row of Grim. Back, Hatling boys. Then nearby their district explosions occurred. It was near the shelters. Static. Forge this. Forge, oh, we Ria. Under attack. by flung remnants. Back on the wall. Jaune looks at the direction of the blast. Jaune, noble team, step up. Your target is attacking the civilian shelters. Carter, roger that we're lending aid to Sergeant Forge. Jaune, is Crow with you? Carter, no, he moved ahead to cut off the head of the snake. I sent 6 with him. Jaune, good. Johnson, Chief, I think you're needed there. They can't cover all the shelters. Jaune, I can't leave you guys here. Kelly, go Jaune, we can handle things here. Johnson, and besides, how can I test out my new toy? Then Sergeant Johnson went ham on the grim. Imagine it as the Yggdrasil MK.1. Johnson, come and get some, you mothers.